This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. I am Sam in for Tori. Okay, I got a question for you, and we talk about this a lot on our show. Are we doing enough to protect our kids and grandkids when they're online and using social media? Well, some of the biggest tech executives, like Mark Zuckerberg from Meta and other CEOs from TikTok, X, Discord, and more, are all testifying on Capitol Hill today. They're going to be answering questions from lawmakers about what they are doing to keep kids safe from sexual exploitation online. The CEOs all say that they are committed to keeping kids safe on their platforms and plan to outline their safety measures. But some states are already taking matters into their own hands. For example, lawmakers in Florida are moving to bar kids younger than 16 from all social media. And in California, they might require chronological feeds as the default on social media, getting rid of the algorithms altogether for kids and teens. So what do you think of this? And do you trust these companies to keep our kids safe? Or do you think that the government can? What would you say, Jeff?
This is a deep issue that I care a lot about and I talked a lot about. I think there is simple ways to do it, but everyone wants to jump in with freedom of speech. So you have a button on your thing that says if you want freedom of speech, you can have whatever your people's heads getting chopped off. The things they allowed on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook are crazy. Crazy how they allow. I mean, the Taliban is on Twitter recruiting people. So you don't want your kids involved with that. Again, a license to have Twitter, to own who you are, to own who it is, would stop a lot of these problems. China has figured it out. I know people don't like to hear that either, but they have a certain timeline of when you could use that app. From this to this, the whole app shuts off. So if it's not like, hey, Jimmy down the street's using it, the whole app shuts off. Their algorithms filter to your children positive things, learning things, things that motivate them. Ours is the Wild West. My kids just watch YouTube, and I'm like, what is that? Like, what do you do? I got to find a way to put the filter on there. We always talk about older people not knowing technology. So why do they make this so difficult to filter things? There's very simple ways out, but the bottom line, what this all revolves around, money. Just like everything else in this world, just like guns, just like drugs, just like the border, just like jails, everything we have is money. And this revolves around money. It's a simple button. All you do is say, I accept that I no longer have my freedom of speech. Turn this off. I want to protect my child. Turn that on.
I mean, Jeff, I think you speak for so many parents that are scared to death about what's going on right now. I think I kind of lucked out in that my kids got older right when I feel like the internet is at front stage and center of everybody's lives. So my kids got a chance to develop. I can't imagine, because your boys are going to grow up and learn to identify themselves. And when that's happening, there's going to be all these outside influences. Yeah. So I'm really, I'm happy to know they have two parents that are vigilant. But at the same time, Sammy, you're in the same boat.
You can be as vigilant as you want.
It seems like it doesn't matter.
Listen, we can talk all we want about personal user responsibility, parental responsibility, but at the end of the day, addiction is addiction. And we have enough data out there to show us that social media is addictive, especially to teens. And it is harmful, especially to teens, especially to teen girls. So I'll take it one step further. I liken this exactly to the pharmaceutical companies. They know their product's addictive. They don't care because they're making billions of dollars. And they know it's confusing. They know they can spin it in the media. They know they can blame law enforcement for not doing enough. They know they can blame their patients for being addicts. We're seeing the same thing, except we're seeing Mark Zuckerberg up there saying, we're doing everything we can. BS.
Right.
I don't buy it. You're not. Kids are getting addicted. You know your product is addictive, just like pharmaceutical companies and their pills, and you're not doing it enough. So when are we going to really hold them accountable? When?
I think the question, and Eric, I want to know, is a financial one. Who's going to hold them accountable when Facebook has $1 kajillion? Like these politicians promote themselves on this platform. So how do we discipline that platform?
I understand that. I understand everything, and everybody's right. That's the thing. That's why this is such a difficult conversation to have, because you can't be like, you are wrong. Right. You're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong, Jeff. You aren't wrong, Al. I don't have kids, but I do know the symptoms of othering. And I do believe that very early on, when the internet was becoming a thing and there were chat rooms and there were all of these incidents of young kids being lured or spoken to or sent images or having their images taken, and it was considered dark, it was considered other.
Right.
That's what's happening in their neighborhoods, in that socioeconomic group, with those people. Those aren't our kids. That doesn't have anything to do with us. Well, guess what? They came for your children.
Yeah.
And now what are you going to do about it? Because ultimately, by othering this entire time, what you've done is embolden people who have nefarious agendas on Instagram, on Twitter, before these things were ever a thing, when it started in the chat rooms and said it was somebody else's problem. Now it's everybody's problem. When we talk about personal responsibility and accountability, I hope people understand that they play a part in every single thing that happens in this society. Whether your part is to look the other way because you don't think it affects you, or your part is to contribute to it. You're all contributing to it. So until we say, this is our contribution to this problem, the problem just continues to
And Erica,
persist.
I just want to connect this really quickly. Sam, what you said about this being very similar to drugs. And you talking about the othering that happens in their community.
Same thing.
That's exactly what happened with prescription pills. It was like, that's what happens downtown with the poor people underneath the train tracks. And now it's out in the suburbs, and it's the same thing.
There you go.
I mean, the connection is really staggering and sad.
Thank you for that button, because it is true. Okay, so speaking of which, and mental health and all of that, the lovable red Muppet Elmo posted a wellness check on X casually, asking, how is everybody doing? Well, Elmo got a whole lot more than he bargained for. One person wrote, Elmo, we are tired. Another wrote, the world is burning around us, Elmo. Another person said, every morning I cannot wait to go back to sleep. Every Monday, I cannot wait for Friday, every single day and every single week of life. This person summed up the responses nicely, saying, we started it by trauma dumping so hard on Elmo, the official Sesame Street account had to tweet out mental health resources. We reached out to Elmo, haven't heard back, but he did post this. Wow, Elmo's glad he asked. Elmo learned that it is important to ask a friend how they are doing. Elmo will check in again soon, friends. Elmo loves you. Okay, so what do we all think of this? And does this really reveal the mental health crisis, Jeff, in America, or is something else going on here?
It shines a light on it, which it should, right? Because there is more so at this time, and I think it's more acceptable to talk about it, right? I don't believe I have a mental health crisis, but I go through my ups and downs, and I think everyone could relate to that at least, maybe not on the extreme level. We have to understand it's not all doom and gloom, okay? When we're talking about the internet, it's 10% of the people making 90% of the content. You really have to let that sink in, okay? That means 90% of the people are good and want positive things and want our children to be good and they don't want the othering. They want good. If you go up to somebody on the street and ask them, usually good people. Around the world, I've traveled everywhere, good people. So it's not all doom and gloom, despite what the media is pushing out every single day, despite what other countries are cracking into our social media and making us hate each other. Like Al always says, say hi to somebody. Have a meal with somebody. Sit down next to somebody. Learn how to talk to somebody else. Don't worry about what Elmo or Taylor Swift thinks.
Well said. Well said. Coming up on DBL.
Big facts.
Is Taylor Swift powerful enough, speaking of which, to influence voters in the presidential election? Some Trump supporters think so. We're going to talk all about it next. And our interview with the host of the dating show Farmer Wants a Wife. She talks about how successful the show is at finding lasting love. Hello. I love you connecting the dots at the very end.
So interesting.
In regard to, we all made points about social media, but for Al to connect the dots at the othering, and the same thing with pharmaceutical companies and drugs, how it may start in areas where people can look the other way and be like, oh, that's downtown, that's not going to affect us. And first of all, that's a wrong outlook to have, but number two, it does affect you. It does make its way into the suburbs. Everyone is affected. So I'm just sick and tired of it, because these pharmaceutical companies, put them aside, but these Facebook, Meta, all of these social media companies, they not only do they know how addictive their product is, but that's their bottom line.
Right,
so for them to go up there and act like they care, give me a break.
I mean,
give me a break.
What are you, as a congressperson, really gonna? I remember when they took one of the CEOs of Insta, and somebody asked him, well, how do you plan to deal with Finsta accounts? And he didn't know what it meant because he was a 65-year-old guy. And Finsta is a fake Instagram. And if you don't know what a Finsta is, you cannot work in security for Instagram. But unfortunately, the people that, created this have almost lost control of it in a way where they are out spending the money from it. But the things that have developed from it in the little neighborhoods, the way people get around certain things in their way, have almost outpaced the people that have made the technology.
I mean, they don't let their own kids on it.
Right.
So doesn't that tell you everything?
And I bet you that would be the same with people with
subscription.
I would never let
They'd
my
be like,
daughter
don't take that. Don't take that. Yeah, mom and dad know why.
Dad is slinging them.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know with our economic structure how we're going to hold people accountable because it's built for people that
just comes up. Oh man, people with the fouls, the hard fouls.
There's some,
Welcome back to DBL. Is former President Trump feeling threatened by Taylor Swift? Well, members of Trump's inner circle are reportedly launching a quote-unquote holy war against the pop star over fears she will promote her liberal agenda and publicly back the Democrats ahead of the election. Taylor has not officially endorsed anyone yet, but she did back President Biden in 2020. Meantime, Trump doesn't seem fazed by it at all and reportedly said he is more popular than Taylor. The Kelsey brothers also seem unbothered and joked about Taylor's presence at Chiefs games this past season on their podcast, Watch.
Also, shout out to the newest members of the Chiefs Kingdom, Taylor Swift, who has officially reached the Super Bowl in her rookie year. That's got to feel good.
Shout out to Tay. Thanks for joining the team.
And for all the haters who thought Taylor was overexposed on TV during the games, the New York Times crunched the numbers, and it said Taylor was typically on screen for less than 25 seconds a game. And if you add that up, the last 5 games, she was on TV for 2 minutes and 38 seconds. All right. Okay, there's a lot to talk about here. First, what do you think about this holy war?
It's ridiculous. We kind of just got done talking about it. It's nonsense. I don't even know what that means. Listen, the old saying goes, there's 30 pages in a newspaper and you have to fill it every day. This is filling the pages. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift, Trump, get real. I never confused Taylor Swift for being there on January 6th. You know what I mean? I know where she stands politically.
Trust me,
it's no surprise.
Right.
It's no surprise. You know what I mean?
If you listen to her lyrics, she was telling you how to get to the Capitol.
And then you throw in holy war to make it like a religious aspect. It's just all gotcha words. And people are falling for it.
Yes.
We fall for it as a society. Well said.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to me because Taylor Swift is really like one of the least problematic people. Like, she really does just mind her own business, do her own thing, and she has all of this power because of the attention that she brings. A part of that attention that she brings, seemingly, if you were watching her on mute, would fall under a Trump-like situation if you were watching her on mute. I mean, she has that whole, like, down-home, white girl, like, pure, like, whole thing going, right? That's a problem. It's like having an op from in, because people who are identifying with Trump can also look at her and physically identify with her. I would see the reason why she's over here minding her own business and Trump is over here like, I'm more popular than her. like her granddaddy talking about being more popular than her. She don't care. That woman do not care. She has all of this money and it's like for real. It's not just on paper. Okay, it is the paper. So I don't. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like there is some shooketh-ness. And I feel like they have a reason to be shooketh.
Oh, do they have a reason to be shooketh? Do they have a reason to be shooketh?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Erica, first of all, that's like her granddaddy being mad at her. Was just, I will take that to my grave. That was beautifully said. Honestly, when I think about this situation, I look at the GOP, because I was actually brushing my teeth listening to a clip, and they last night, and I heard the host, I believe it was Fox, I don't want to say it before, but I'm 99% sure, and she ended it by saying, since she has sold her soul to the devil. And I was like, excuse me, it's like 9:30, I'm like winding down, and I think this is the official othering, whether it's like, if everybody likes that, if you guys ride with us, you don't like that. And it is a way to separate your base and your followers from anything that is popular that can have an alternative message. Because Taylor is not political. She does not.
She is political.
Not really.
Oh, yes, she is.
In terms of like saying you guys should go out and vote for Biden?
No, if you listen to her song, she's very pro-LGBTQIA. She's very pro-Black Lives Matter during the entire social justice movement. So
I was talking about Canada.
Or humanitarian.
Well, you can argue that. You and I won't, but other people could argue that that is her influencing people on how to think in social issues, which does boil down to politics.
Right. I mean, I get, okay, so I don't see that as political, but it kind of goes with what I said.
The other side does.
The other, what I said last week is like things, when we talk about politics, we're really talking about life ideologies, and we're not talking about actual bills and things that are coming up. We're talking about how do you feel about two people of the same sex being married. So if that's the case, then yes. So I just think that they're trying to separate their base from anybody that likes anything popular, and it's going to be successful.
We will see. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Farmer Wants a Wife host Jennifer Nettles. She tells us all about the latest season of the dating reality show.
We have 4 farmers. They select 5 women who will then come and live with them on their farm.
I've dated in the city. I haven't found what I'm looking for.
Welcome back. There are 4 new farmers looking for love on Farmer Wants a Wife. A group of women will learn to tend the crops and feed cattle as they embark on a journey to find love with a farmer. Earlier, we spoke with the host of the show, Jennifer Nettles. Please welcome back the host of Farmer Wants a Wife, Jennifer Nettles.
Yes. Jennifer, welcome back. Let's jump right in, shall we? When it comes to lasting relationships, the show is one of the most successful in the world. Why do you think these matches are so strong?
in the world. Well, first of all, let me just give some context to when you're saying the most successful in the world. This show has been around for 13 years all over the country. It's just the first time that Farmer Wants a Wife has been in the U.S. But it's resulted out of those 13 years in over 200 marriages and over 500 children.
Wow.
That's amazing. And I mean, who better than you to maybe answer the question of why is this working? The farmers that are dating women from mostly from the city, like, do you think it's the opposites attract? What do you think?
I think it could be something there. I think it could be that opposites attract. I also think that the people who are on this show are in it for the right reasons. They're not in it for their 15 seconds of fame to be an Instagram influencer, okay? They're not in for it for the dramatics. They're in it for love, and I think that makes all the difference.
That's fair. I mean, if you say you want something, you should actually go for that as opposed to just pretending you do. So what do the ladies struggle with the most while living on a farm?
Ooh, well, I mean, there are, of course, some really fun fish out of water moments. You know, like over 85% of the people, or the women on the show, are from the city and have never been in a farm life situation before. So we get a lot of fun fish out of water moments in that, especially with animals and dirt and mud and fingernails. And you see right here all the above freaking out that you're seeing in the clips, which are so fun. But also, you know, I think it's important to note that these folks are looking for love, and they haven't been able to make it happen for themselves, you know, either in the city or for the guys. They haven't been able to make it in their small town.
Oh, well, hopefully they find love and add to your successful statistic. Now, I have to ask you, though, Jennifer, as the host, do you think that you would ever be able to leave everything behind to live on a farm? Do you have any farm experience yourself?
I mean, I grew up in a tiny little town way out in the country, the country is different than a farm, mind you, because farming is its own kind of lifestyle, and it's also very much a business. So I love the outdoors. I love being outdoors. I don't think I'm a farm gal, you know. I don't
All right, we do want to congratulate you. You recently won an Emmy.
Woo!
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. It's right there. Do you see it? It's right there.
Oh, it's behind. I was going to ask you where you keep it.
Yes.
That's it, right there on the piano.
But you have multiple awards, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's a very heavy piano back there.
Wow.
Well, yeah, that's a good place to keep them.
A lot of hardware. You go, girl.
That's intimidating to walk into your home and see that.
What's that?
I said, that's intimidating to walk in and see all those awards. I'm like, I got to do better. That's amazing.
Oh, it's exciting. You'll see my friend Brandy Clark right there. That's her album. I'm putting it next to my Grammys because I'm manifesting for her. She's up for 6 this year.
Wow. Jennifer, it's always great having you on DBL. To our viewers, Season 2 of Farmer Wants a Wife premieres February 1st on Fox. Thank you again, Jennifer. Congrats on all your success. Great to see you.
Thank you. Come back soon.
Welcome back. If you are struggling with arthritis and need a quick remedy, experts say you should try a glass of water with lemon. They say the vitamin C and the antioxidants in it help and reduce joint pain. So do you guys drink lemon water, or are there any other home remedies that you swear by, Erica? Yes?
I do drink lemon water because Cicely Tyson talked about how she drank hot water with lemon for like decades. And I was like, well, if she did it, I should.
Well, look how she turned out.
Yeah.
She looks like a model, and she's in her mid-90s.
And look at Erica.
She passed away.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know she passed away.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. Well, she lived a great life.
Yes, she
Thanks
did.
for bringing that up now. Jeff,
Anyone? Are you a lemon? Are you a lemon water person?
No, but I did hear. I was doing that for a while. Hugh Jackman, when he got ripped for Wolverine, he drank. The first thing he drank in the morning was hot lemon water.
Yeah.
And he like swore by it, and he drank it every single morning. So I did that for a half an ab, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
You're like,
I do it a lot.
I'm gonna be
Just
like, dude, I'm gonna be the next Wolverine. Ooh, cheese.
I'm going to read one quick comment from Megan in regard to the tech story. It says, I feel lucky to be a Gen X and didn't have to deal with social media when I was a teenager. All right. And by the way, this was another great remedy. Sorry, I messed that all up for joint pain. It's Omega XL. It's a powerful joint support that's helped millions of consumers and is backed by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-630-5419 or visit omegaxl.com for more information. Then I was supposed to go to comments. My bad. But no, and here's one more from Gigi in regard to Trump. I find it interesting that a person who used to be on TV and who became president is now calling out a celeb. DBL's New Every Day. We'll see you tomorrow.